Listen,
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
we talk about it every day.
Get on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
Pitch and Moan. I am your host, Courtney Finnicum. It is a pleasure to have on Dylan Cease. Dylan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing well. I appreciate your time. I just want to jump right in with you. I know we are putting an exclamation point on spring training. You just finished up your last start on Saturday with 9 strikeouts. Awesome way to end. How are you feeling so far?
I feel really good. It was, I really didn't get into a great rhythm until really late in the camp. So I wouldn't say I was panicking, but I definitely wasn't super thrilled with where I was for a lot of camp. So I really feel like the last 10 days or so, I had some really nice adjustments, and I really like where I'm at.
So can you shine a little light on what those adjustments were that you were kind of unhappy with, and then making those adjustments? What made you make the proper adjustments to feel better?
Yeah, it was basically just training myself to feel like the feeling of being closed when I throw. It's kind of hard to explain unless you're throwing and you kind of feel out the different things. But yeah, I kind of just realized for a while on camp I was a little bit open when I was throwing, and just I wasn't getting the ball to do what it needed to do or go where it needed to go. So really just honing in on mechanics every day and just finding that feel really.
And you feel going into opening day or the opening series that you have that feel going?
Yeah, I like where I'm at. It's just one of those things where you got to stay on top of it every day and not really take it for granted. But I definitely, the last 2 were really good, especially the last one. So yeah, I mean, if I keep putting the ball where I want, I really feel good about my chances.
A lot of fans obviously put a lot of stock into spring training stats, right? I mean, people are always looking, always talking about it. Obviously, everything is very enhanced during the first few weeks, even of the beginning of the season. How important is it to you to finish up strong in spring training?
It's important. The most important thing is how it's feeling out of my hand, and if I'm putting it where I want to, really. If I had a start where I really felt like I was executing well and I was commanding my fastball and I got hit, I would feel better than if I had a start where I just had good results, but I didn't know where the ball was going. So really, it's just for me, it comes down to if I feel like I have a good feel and I know where it's going.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. So once again, your name has been floating around in the middle of trade rumblings. Are you surprised as spring training comes to an end that you are still a member of the San Diego Padres?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised. No. Yeah, there was a lot of rumors, and obviously the Padres are aggressive, and so you never know. But I wasn't too worried about it, and yeah, I'm not too surprised.
How are these trade rumors different than last year when you were with the White Sox?
I mean, it's pretty similar. I do think last year I thought that once I made it through to the end of spring that it felt like it was unlikely I was going to be traded till at least the deadline maybe. But I guess rumors all kind of feel the same. It's like you hear them and you kind of so many times you hear the rumors and nothing happens that it not that it feels like false flags, but it doesn't really feel like it's necessarily that real. Obviously, until something happens, then it's very real. So I really don't put too much stock into it.
And that makes sense, obviously. I mean, you kind of have to have the right mindset. It is a business at the end of the day. But how did you feel when that initial Band-Aid was pulled and the White Sox told you, all right, Dylan, you're moving on, you're going to San Diego? What was your initial reaction?
Yeah, it was a couple different things at once, to be honest. There's that kind of sadness that you're leaving a bunch of people that you just spent years with. And you have friendships, you have a lot of memories and all that. And then there's the excitement of going somewhere new and going to a team that's got a lot of talent, and it's also flattering at the same time that they they want you, and they're willing to give up things for you. So all in all, I usually end up feeling pretty excited about it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say at the end of the day, I view it as exciting usually.
Okay.
In my two experiences with it, it's been exciting.
That's right. You have had to experience with it, but on both sides of town in Chicago. So
Yeah.
you were obviously quite young when the Cubs traded you. Has your mindset changed since being a younger player compared to now? Has that experience changed for you being part of these trades?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're traded in the minor leagues, you really don't feel like, obviously you don't feel like a big leaguer. So, you kind of get traded, and it's really not a whole lot was different. It was just like I'm going somewhere new, but I still have to work my way up through 4 different levels or whatever it was. I still have to develop. Where now it's I guess a little more instant. Like, it's not that it's not more important, but it's just got that more instant, more, everything's changing kind of on a dime. Um, with going to a new city, going to a team, learning everything that's new. It's definitely different at the big league level.
What has really stood out to you about the Padres organization?
It's a first class organization. I mean, they uh, they want to win. They invest in winning. They don't cut corners in any way. It's an organization where I really feel like just everything is done extremely well, how it's supposed to be done. It's organized. Yeah, and then there's a lot of talent too. So it's really it's one of those where you have all those factors. It's extremely fun to go to the ballpark. It's fun to watch the team. It's fun to interact with the coaches, see what they've got for you, and yeah, it really is. I have nothing but great things to say about the Padres.
Yeah, Petco Park, I experienced that
Amazing.
park. It is top notch. And I experienced it during a Dodger Padre game where the Padres actually came back to win in the late innings. That atmosphere is unmatched. It is
Yeah,
incredible. And
it
to go
is.
there, yeah, to go there for, 81 games a year, gotta be pretty special.
It is. Yeah.
So the team that you were traded from, the Chicago White Sox, have obviously not been so lucky. Last year, they broke the all-time loss record in 121 losses. Seeing that after they traded you right before the season started, what were your feelings watching that season unfold on the South Side?
Hmm. Well, my feelings towards it. I guess when I get traded, I sort of emotionally disconnected from the White Sox. So obviously, I have friends on the team, and I'm close with Ethan, and I love the city of Chicago. I like the fan base, all of it. So it was one of those where it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't fun as a previous player to watch. But I wasn't very emotionally connected to it, I would say. Um, you know, it's just one of those things that's unfortunate. And it's yeah, it is what it is.
And it is what it is. That's exactly right. I mean, you mentioned being close with Ethan Katz, which is the White
Mhm.
Sox pitching coach. Were you in contact with any of those guys during last year at all, or were you completely disconnected?
Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, I always keep in touch with Ethan. Every once in a while. I mean, when the season gets going, it's like you blink and a month's gone by, and so it can be one of those where you connect more after the season or whatever. But yeah, I definitely stay in touch with him.
When you get traded, because you were traded from the White Sox, as we discussed, do you keep track of any of the players that you were traded for, like a Drew Thorpe, for instance? Do you keep track about their progress or how they're doing, or again, are you just kind of disconnected, focused on your work?
I wouldn't say I go to my way to do it, but you obviously you see the headlines, you kind of see what's going on, so inevitably you kind of you see, especially with the White Sox, where they're putting more of their chips into prospects and young players as opposed to like free agency or different areas like that. So I feel like when it comes to kind of their media and what people talk about, it is a lot of like the younger guys. So inevitably, you end up just kind of seeing what's unfolding.
And I'm sure you saw that Drew Thorpe went down with a Tommy John injury this week,
Mhm.
which obviously very devastating. I know you've been through that
Yeah.
certainly early on in your career. How did you handle something like that?
Well, I did mine in high school, so I think I was just really young and naive, and I just, you know, I rehabbed. I listened to what the strength and PT strength coaches and PTs told me to do, and kind of just went through it. Didn't know what to expect, didn't look too far into the future, and that's really all you can do with Tommy John. Good thing is he was on the major league roster, right? So
He was.
he'll get a year of service time. He's going to get to be rehab with the big league club and all of that, which is a great bonus. I spent 18 months at the Courtyard Marriott uh, with mine. I was newly into professional baseball, so it's one of those surgeries that's so common now. I mean, it's all it takes is time, really. Then he'll be back to where he was for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any insight or any thoughts of why so many guys are going down with Tommy John
I
as a
think
pitcher?
I just think pitching is hard on the body. It's not very natural, and we get used for a long, extended period of time. So I just think it's inevitable. It's like with cars, like you can have Ferraris, but they are in the shop all the time, and it's similar. We're powerful athletes. A lot is asked of us frequently, and it's really just part of it that you have to accept. I think until I'm sure there's gonna be a day where modern medicine can fix everything and heal things instantly, and then you know it'll be different then. But until then, it's just something you have to accept, I think.
I agree. It's just kind of a wear and tear situation. I agree.
Mhm.
You mentioned wear and tear on your body. You mentioned being an athlete. You have a lot of different interests outside of baseball that, of course, I've
Yeah.
always found fascinating.
Yeah.
One of them is yoga. You're a
Mhm.
big yoga guy, right? How do you connect yoga with being a baseball player? Most importantly, being a pitcher.
Mm. Well, I would say if you're truly following like spiritual yoga, it's essentially tools and techniques to be your best version. So what you could say is it's sort of like the building block of your process towards being good at being a human or being good at something. So I guess for me, it's like kind of the building blocks in a lot of ways, and something I turn to if, like, let's just say I'm not feeling confident or I'm not feeling this way or that way. Um, I rely pretty heavily on the yoga and the different meditations and stuff like that to try to, you know, I guess create more of how I want to feel and create more of how I want to be, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you still meditating before starts?
Yeah. I'm, I'm consistent with it. I need to be more consistent with it, but especially in start days, I always get it done. But yeah, I'm doing my processes for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Besides the whole mental and spiritual aspect of it, which I'm a very
Mm.
big believer in, do you find doing yoga helps with you physically? Recovery, flexibility, balance, any of that?
Yeah, so I think so. I don't do any what you would call physical yoga, I guess, during the season. I do all of that in the off season. During the season, it's more of the meditation, the kriyas, the visualization, stuff like that. So I do think it helps me prepare for my season, though.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So besides the yoga, you have a beekeeping family, which I love
Yeah.
I love the fresh honey aspect.
Yeah.
You're a painter. You like to do the painting, right? That's
Hmm.
do you do any of the painting during the season, or is that strictly off season?
Oh yeah, I do it during the season for sure. It comes in bursts for me for whatever reason. I feel like I'll do like 3 in a week, and then I go 2 months without doing it.
How many have you done during spring training?
I did 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you painted this during spring training?
They're very abstract. It
Okay.
would be hard to describe. They're very, very abstract.
Okay, interesting. Now, are you
Yeah.
thinking of potentially opening up a Dylan Cease watercolor paints store one day? I mean, I think there's potential there. I don't know.
Well, I do like business and entrepreneurship. So
Yes.
if there was a good business link to it and a good business plan, I would definitely consider it. I don't have any immediate plans to do it, but I'm always open minded.
Selling honey, selling your painting. I don't know. I mean, there could be an extra side business there.
Absolutely.
But you do have a passion project that you have started, and that was the
Yep.
disc golf. You're a
Yep.
very, very passionate disc golf player. Can you explain to me how a major league pitcher got involved in disc golf?
Yeah, my twin brother got me into it. So way back when we were both living together at my parents' house in the off season, I would get home from my workouts, and he would be doing schoolwork, and disc golf would be up on YouTube. And I would give him a hard time. I was like, "What is this? This is like the silliest thing I've ever seen," and give him a hard time. And then he talked me into going and playing, and I got hooked. And then COVID came around, where that's basically all we could do for months at a time. And I just got hooked. And then I am fairly creative, and I like to kind of dream and do things and whatever. So I became friends with like the Tiger Woods of disc golf, Paul Macbeth, and from there I just had on my mind to make courses and try to just get involved in it. Like do yeah, just see what we could do. Whether it's starting a brand or doing the courses or hosting tournaments. I want to add a little flair to it.
Now, how many courses have you opened since this passion project started?
Two. So I have one in Florida and one in Alabama. And ultimately, I would like to host like a big $1 million tournament or something wild like that. But that's probably down the road. It's I want to do something. I want to do something kind of attention grabbing with it. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that.
Is your twin brother still involved in this as much as you are? Has he
Oh, he
just thrown
plays.
everything in your
Well, so I don't really get to play much anymore.
right?
Obviously with baseball, it's I'm not playing too much these days, but he plays all the time still.
Have you gotten any of your teammates involved in disc golf?
Um, I've taken teammates here and there. Sometimes they'll watch it with me. The other day we had it up. There was a tournament going on. We had it on TV. So it's yeah. I mean, honestly, we don't really have a lot of time to play, especially during the season.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The disc golf has always been fascinating to me. I have never personally tried it, but I think I can grasp it. I like the sound of it.
It's a good time. You spend a couple hours in nature.
Yes.
It's kind of like baseball. It's mechanical. You got to make the thing fly how you want. I've never gotten good at it. I like it. And I'm not even good at it. So at the very least, I enjoy going out in nature. Spending a couple hours hiking. It's basically accuracy based hiking.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Accuracy based hiking. I like that. I
Yeah.
do like that.
Yeah.
So one more outside project or I shouldn't even say project, hobby.
Mhm.
You wrote an incredible poem last year.
I
You're
don't know if
already
it was
laughing.
incredible. It was. I liked it. It was never supposed to be released. My teammates liked it. They encouraged me, so I released it. It's a little goofy, but it was very funny in the moment.
Oh, slider slide, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was on a good streak with it. I was on a bender.
I first have to know who was the teammate that forced you to go public with it.
It's a good question. I remember AJ Pollock hyping it up a lot, and then I think I read it to somebody, and they were all laughing, and they're like, "Hey, you guys got to hear this." And then just from there, it kind of ended up being a thing for a little bit. Yeah, that was back in 22.
Back in 22, yes, it
Yeah.
was. Now,
Yeah.
what possessed you about? I mean, I know your slider very well, of course, but what
Yeah.
possessed you to sit down and be like, I'm gonna break down my slider? What possessed you?
I didn't sit down. I was in the shower. I was listening to piano music, and I don't know if you've ever listened to piano music, but it can get your mind going.
Yes, it can.
And for whatever reason, it just literally. I wrote that in like 20 seconds. It literally like wrote itself. It was wild.
So you are creative, so the thoughts came right out of you.
I feel like I was like the medium for it almost.
Oh, I can picture this. I can definitely
Yeah.
picture this. Now, my next question is, will there be a sequel to Oh Slider Slide?
I don't know. I feel like that's one of those where that's like a one-off. I guess it could. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen, but if you had asked me if I would have ever written a poem about anything really about before I did that, I would have said no chance. So it's possible, unlikely, but it's definitely possible.
So you've not done any poems since 2022 is what you're telling me.
No, I haven't. That was the last hurrah.
Well, if you feel it again in the shower or listening to piano music, I'm sure you'll jot it right down again, right?
Oh yeah, I probably won't release it, but I'll definitely jot it down.
Yeah, you gotta probably keep that a little quieter between your teammates, right?
Yeah, I have to have a lot of encouragement for me to send it public.
Yes, that's right. Well, listen, I know people enjoyed it though. People did enjoy it.
Yeah,
I got some good play in Chicago and nationally for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So moving back to baseball quickly, you threw a no-hitter last year.
Yep.
First year on the Padres, threw a no-hitter, very, very cool, amazing experience. What are your goals for 2025?
The first thing that comes to mind is to make all my starts. I take that very serious. So I want to make all my starts. Obviously, I want there to be a high amount of quality with that. I don't put any numbers, I don't have to hit certain goals like that. I really just want to stay focused, follow my process, stay focused, and let whatever happens happen.
So when you talk about a process in that way, do you
Mhm.
have anything in particular that you focus on, or does it just kind of come to you? Like, what is your main focus while preparing for these starts?
Yeah, it's many different things. I mean, one of it's physical, mechanical, so the body, the actual scouting reports and what do I need to throw, where do I need to throw it. Yeah, I mean, those are the two main things really is how do I get myself in the position to where I'm executing pitches, and what exactly do I need to throw in certain situations. That's basically the main prep for me.
So the NL West is going to be a juggernaut again this year.
Mhm.
What are your feelings on competing against a team like the Dodgers all year?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun games. They're obviously very talented. And really, I just kind of just stay focused on me, and I think as a team we do the same thing where we really focus on playing as clean of baseball as we can, and we focus on our plan, our execution, and just see what happens.
That's all you can do. That's all you can
Yeah,
control. So
exactly.
they let you know that's all you can control.
Yep.
So one final question for you, as always, I appreciate your time, Dylan.
Yeah.
What are we doing with this beard? You got this crazy scruffy beard going. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I like this or not. I don't know. I'm really on the fence here.
Yeah.
I mean, what's our plan? What are we doing? What are we doing?
It depends how it performs. If I start the year hot, it's going to be hard to get rid of it.
Oh,
I would like to be clean shaven at one point. I don't think I've been clean shaven uh, in the big leagues in a while,
I don't
so
think you have. No.
it's the mustache seems to always be prevalent, but I think if I don't have a beard, I think it's going to be clean shaven would be the next go-to.
I mean, if you pitch extremely well until June, are you just not going to shave at all? Are we just going to let this go nuts? I mean,
Yeah, I think so. I've trimmed up lately. This is pretty trimmed. I mean,
oh my goodness.
my photos for the scoreboard this year are not trimmed up. I should have probably taken care of that, but this is pretty trimmed. This is actually trimmed up. It was much messier earlier.
So you're really just going to let this go as long as it gets without
Yeah,
trimming it
pretty
up.
much. Now, I say that I could get bored or I could change my mind next week, but as of right now, I'm just letting it go, letting it
And
flow.
it doesn't bother you. It doesn't get in the way of things.
Not really. No. If anything, it's fun because I can sit here and just twirl it. Gives
Oh,
me
and
something to
I
do.
bet you do that. I bet you
I
do.
do. I do.
Are you thinking of maybe braiding it, just getting real creative with it? I mean,
No, I don't know how to do that. No, I'm gonna let it be natural.
well, I'm always rooting for you, but I'm definitely going to root for you
Thank
even
you.
harder now, just to really get that beard in its
See the
full.
beard?
Yes, yes. I want you looking like ZZ Top by June. I really do.
That would be if I'm able to do that, I think we have to check my hormone levels. I think that would be abnormal.
If that's not a good way to end it, I don't know what is. Dylan, always appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck this season.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.